Hello, this is Top Preps Player Interviews by Sunil Sunder. Tonight, I'm happy to be speaking with Tyler Henderson, a senior at Northwood Temple Academy in Fayetteville, North Carolina, and a point guard of the varsity boys basketball team. Once again, Tyler, thank you so much for taking time out to speak with you tonight. And hey, congrats on your success up to this point.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Glad to be here.
Okay, let's talk about preparing. As I said, for your senior season, the final ride here, putting that Eagles number 4 jersey on, team captain, a state champion, a 2-time all-conference player. It's got to be exciting, as I said, getting ready for the season, which is right around the corner.
Yes, sir. So we've been preparing a lot. We've been doing team conditioning and then building chemistry at practice and whatnot. A lot of conditioning though to get us right. So if we start our conditioning now, get right through September and October, when it comes November, we'll just be ready to go and ready to play.
Yeah, it's fantastic to hear. And coming off a very successful season, last year, Tyler, if these numbers add up, I checked on them: 22-8, 6-0 overall, undefeated in the conference. So building off that from last year's team, to hear what are the expectations, said, again here with the 2023-24 team.
So last year I was at Fayetteville Academy and we had that team, and then this year I went back to Northwood where it all started. So we
Okay.
have a younger group of guys this year, and we only have 2 seniors. So that leadership,
Mhm.
we really need it from us too. So that'll be a good little thing for me to go through, become a good
Yeah.
leader. And then also it's just teaching those young guys so when they're seniors, they know how to get it done and just move forward and win a lot of games.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that point up. It said now here at Northwood, Temple Academy, talk about this transition, and it said playing on this team, it said this year.
That transition, it was pretty hard to leave my old coach, Coach Mims. I had a good time over there at Fayetteville
Hmm.
Academy and Cape Fear Christian, but it just needed some change. Felt good to go back home and whatnot. So
That's
looking
great. That
forward to the season.
terrific. Hey, I wanted to go back to a couple of years ago because it said your resume is so impressive in terms of your basketball skills. I think it's going back to 2021. You were the second leading scorer, averaged 11.4 points per game, shooting 38% from behind the arc, 3-point range. Some of the intangibles, people picked up in terms of your skill set: a knockdown shooter, especially off the catch with a deep range and a quick release, a high IQ shooter. I mean, when you hear that description of what you bring to the table in terms of your shooting abilities, just from your perspective, I just wanted to get your thoughts on that, Tyler.
Can you repeat the question?
Oh, sorry. No, just again, in terms of scouts, describing your offensive skills, a knockdown, shooter, especially off the catch with a deep range and a quick release, a high IQ shooter. So just wanted to, ask you about that.
Oh, yes, sir. So mainly, so in 8th grade, believe it or not, I was a big man. I was the tallest kid on the court, and then I stopped growing. So I had
Yeah.
to transition from being a big man to being like a guard. So I
Yeah.
contained like a lot of dribbling and stuff, but also a lot of shooting. So got up a lot of shots the past 3 years, and then just became a really good shooter.
Yeah.
That's like
No,
bread and butter.
that's right. Yeah, perfect. It said adjective. Talk about, here now playing under head coach Jay Moore. Big shout out to Coach Moore for arranging this interview, and how in terms of building up that chemistry, that cohesiveness, with Coach Moore and the rest of the coaching staff as well.
So Coach Moore, we call him the people's champ because he's just a good people's person. He knows how to really connect people. He knows how to talk. He's just a great person to be around, and he has a lot of basketball knowledge that'll help us get through the season and win a lot of games. And then we
Yeah.
also have Coach Hickman. He's a really good guy, knows a lot about basketball and stuff, and also the world. He teaches us a lot of stuff off the court.
Yeah, it's wonderful to hear. obviously you have a passion for the game of basketball. So I'm going to ask you, what are some of the intangibles that stand out, Tyler? Whether it's on the court, off the court as well, that really propels you and makes you come back year after year, to play this sport.
So one, I'm very competitive. So everything I do
Mm,
is a competition. Whether I'm doing it with someone else, I'm gonna try and just be competitive in whatever I'm doing, whether it'll be like grades or like just picking up trash or something. I want to be the first one to do it.
mhm.
And also another thing is hard work. So if you're gonna work hard like in athletics and stuff, you're gonna have to have that aspect in all areas of your life. So you can't just like slack off on one thing. You have to work hard on everything for it to carry over into athletics.
Yeah, definitely. Well said. As you said, you know, in terms of your size, you play the point guard. So I wanted to ask you in terms of, working on your skill set, your fundamentals, and it takes, a serious commitment year round to be the best at your position. So I had to ask you just in terms of you do conditioning, and then strength as well, what you do off the court really, as said, benefits you and, factors into how a season is going to pan out. So had to ask you just in terms of what you do off the court, as well, besides the team activities as well and practices.
So my strength and conditioning coach, Gerald Bradford, he's been around for a lot of years doing this. So we work out for 4 days a week. So two of those
Hmm.
days will be in the weight room and two will be either running on the track or we'll go to this hill and we'll run hills.
Hmm.
So the weight room, we do a lot of deadlifts, squats, bench press, and then also a lot of plyometrics to get our body moving and whatnot. It's really
Yeah.
good. And then we'll have a recovery day where we stretch and everything, get our bodies right for the next week.
I'm glad you brought that point up because I think that's underestimated, Tyler, that the flexibility, being durable, because it said no matter what sport you play, you take a pounding, and, basketball is a perfect example of that. And you need to be, said again, flexible, and you need because it's stretching is so essential because, as you know, injuries can pop up, at any moment. And just to build upon that, I think what's important is that I think people don't focus in on his nutrition, rest and recovery as well, and that I think comes with the stretching, component as well. Talk about that because. Nutrition, mental health, being really laser focused at the task at hand as well.
Yes, sir. So, for meals, I'm on like a kind of a diet, I should say. So,
Hmm.
I do 4 meals a day. So, in the morning, I'll have eggs, rice, and then a protein shake. And then at lunch, I'll always have either mashed potatoes or rice with some meat. It'll either be chicken or sometimes steak if it's a good day.
Hmm.
And then, so I'll have that 3 times a day. So I'll have one after school. Well, I have one at lunch, one after school, and then one before I go to bed. And I just think like being consistent in what you eat and watching what you put into your body helps a lot on the court.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. Just that repetition and having that structure in place. Hey, for you playing that point guard position, talk about you're basically the quarterback of the team, so it's just a lot of responsibilities and roles that are placed upon you. Talk about that as you go through practices, preparing for a game day. Pregame, warm ups and routines to get yourself again, ready, to take the court. Talk about how much, is said preparation that goes into that, especially here as we, as the season opener approaches here.
So, for us, we have a lot of guards on the team. So pretty much
Okay.
like we'll have 3 point guards on the court at one time. So we all very vocal and like the point guard, you got to be really smart to be a point guard because you have to like notice all the things on the court. So if
Hmm.
one of your players isn't getting enough shots and you need to get them the ball, you need to focus on that. Like you're the extension of the coach. So everything you do just needs to be good and make sure everyone's working well together. And then also you need to be
Yeah.
a good
Good.
leader,
Yes.
get everyone's mind right for the locker room, say the right in the locker room before the game, say the right things, get everyone focused.
Hey, I said, I think, you really live up to the billing of being a team captain. I think because that's what it takes, to assume that that spot. Not everybody is cut out for that. So I'm wondering, like, any pregame, routines or superstitions that before said you take the court and you're warming up there, Tyler.
So, at Northwood, our locker room is like kind of like the weight room. So we'll go up in
Yeah,
there. We'll all just like, and once everyone gets like their stuff on and all stretched out and stuff, we'll all just listen to music, get really excited for the game, go down,
yeah.
warm up, and just be locked in.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm wondering, from a player's perspective, when you're out there on the court, whether you're on the offensive end or defensive end, what is, you know, flowing through? What is, going through your mind as, you're out there on the court? I don't think a lot of people, take people behind the scenes because I think, of course, fans, media, but they don't get that true sense of what an athlete is experiencing, especially a basketball player. What are those moments, what do they entail for you?
So when you're on the like, there's just a million things racing through your like mind at once. You have
Hmm.
what's going on the court, where you should be at right now. Then you have like just the crowd, all the noise and stuff. So
Yeah.
usually like I'll just cancel all that out and focus on what can I do to help my team win. So whether that's on defense, I should be in help right now in case someone gets beat baseline, or whether I'm on offense, make sure I'm in the right spot, moving without the ball. Just like focusing on that.
Yeah, no, that again, terrific points that you made there. And so I'm wondering when it comes to either college or the NBA, any of your particular players that you really pay close attention to and sort of maybe pick up on their tendencies, how they played the game as well, Tyler?
I really like Kyle Korver and Steph Curry just because they can shoot
Yeah,
and really spread the floor. I feel like every team needs a shooter because it just opens up so many things. So if you have some guys that can hit shots, it opens up lanes for other people to drive to the basket. And if that help defender helps out, they can kick it right to you and you just easy knockdown shot. It just opens up a lot of things.
yeah. I said I asked you about when you're playing the game, but when you are chucking up those shots, and trying to get the right positioning, as you talked about the spacing on the floor, and everything has to be in sync once you do take that jump shot. That's I mean, you see how graceful a lot of athletes are, out there, and the way Steph Curry has done it for what now entering, I think is what his 15th or 16th year in the NBA. It's just amazing to have that type of longevity. But talk about that, like, when you're, getting ready, and set to take that jump shot. What is that, for you, that moment, what you're experiencing there as well.
It's all mental. You just like you've shot the same shot like thousands of times at
Hmm.
least. So it's just all
Yeah,
mental and muscle memory. So if you have the confidence and like really think that it's gonna go in, it's gonna go in as long as your
yeah,
form is just locked into your brain and
yeah.
stuff.
No, I agree. Hey, I don't know. I read up a little bit on your bio as well. Is it true that you also play at soccer and you also ran cross country as well, Tyler?
So in 8th grade, I was a busy guy.
Okay.
I did soccer and cross country. So I'd have cross country practice and then I'd go to soccer practice and
Hmm.
then yeah, I was just very busy. And I was in the same season. It was in the fall, so very
Yeah.
busy.
Hey, that's a testament to again to your work ethic, and the fact that you're staying in shape. I said year round, as I said before. I think that's again critical. Just in terms of and I guess one sport affecting another, and the fact that some of the same skills can really benefit you there as well. Can you talk about that, Tyler?
So from cross country, it was just your conditioning and stamina, so that rubbed off
Hmm.
on the court. So I was very in shape. And then the soccer, mainly just the footwork, because on the
Yeah.
soccer field, you're just moving your feet a lot and stuff. And then when you're on the
Yeah.
court, it helps out a lot.
No, yeah, that's right. Again, a perfect analogy. As you know, it's just not being an athlete; it's being a student athlete, and you've definitely been able to excel and flourish in the classroom. 4.0 GPA, multiple honor and AP classes. Uh, talk about that again. Having that commitment to hitting the books. It's not easy because you're trying to balance out that role in terms of between the practices, the lifts, game day, and then there's so much involved there. But that time management organization you have down pat, Tyler. Talk about, it's not everyone can handle those rigors and those pressures, but you've been able to meet that head on.
Yes, sir. So usually for me, I like to plan out my days before I start them. So the night before my day, I'll just structure it out. I'll see what times I have practices, what times I have assignments due, and then I'll find times where I can get them done and just be very structured. It's all about time management, balancing
Yeah,
the two.
yeah, no, I agree. As you know, we live in the day of social media, so definitely utilizing the various platforms. X formerly known as Twitter, Instagram. I mean, there are a bunch of them out there. Highlight videos, just to be able to get your name out there and showcase your skills. Talk about how just being able to utilize that and tap into those you know into social media.
So I mainly use Twitter. I'll post highlights and clips on Twitter. So, well, it'll mainly be game film so people can see
Hmm.
that. So I'll get the game film. I'll just chop up my clips, edit them on the iMovie, put them in one thing, and just post them. It's pretty
Yeah.
pretty easy, simple, nothing too
Yeah,
much.
yeah, that's true. That's true. I agree because I mean I think there's so many people out there doing it, but if again, if you can be able to find an avenue and the right platform, I said to aid you, it's that is important. Hey, you need I said a strong family structure, just in terms of you have your parents, your younger brother. Talk about how much they've meant to you here, along this athletic and academic journey here, Tyler.
So my parents, they've pushed me a lot. I really love them for that, and they've just like always guided me in the right path. So I'll see them working hard, and I'm like, dang, I should be doing that. So
Yeah.
whenever I catch myself not working hard, I'll think like, what would my parents do, and just work hard because they do a lot for me, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, no, it's great to hear. You pay homage, to them. That's wonderful to see. You have a lot going on, as said, between between playing basketball and your academics. So you need to find time to relax. I know that some of your hobbies are playing golf, chess, and lifting weights. Talk about again, be able to kick back or just and focus on those. Uh, I said those hobbies and how much they mean to you. I said here, Tyler.
So, one of my main hobbies, well, two main hobbies, I like to go golfing and I like to
Hmm.
fish. So,
Okay.
well, yeah, when I go golfing, it's just fun. I'm not too good at it, but like I just enjoy being out there hitting the golf ball. And then also
Yeah.
fishing, like it's just so peaceful. Like you're out there in the nature and stuff,
Yes.
catching fish. It's quiet out there. There's no construction or loud noises. It's just so
Hmm.
peaceful. Really clears
Yeah.
your mind.
Yeah. No, I said I think that's to experience that. It's refreshing, clears your head, and just like again, I said to be out there and a part of nature. Yeah, nothing better than that. Hey, I before you get the final word and message here, I think as I said before, we live in such a competitive world here. And there's so many kids out there playing sports, and they're trying to figure out, like, so which one they're good at, and especially we have social media out there, so it just heightens that, I said that level. What I mean, what would you say to the younger kids out there and the athletes, as they're trying to you know navigate, so these, sometimes turbulent waters, and trying to move up that ladder and succeed, and hopefully end up maybe one day where you're at as well.
So my advice would be is whatever, like once you find that sport you're good at, I would recommend like just finding one thing in that sport that you're really good at. So for example, if it's basketball, let's say you're just really good at shooting, just build your game around that. Cause like if you're just well rounded at everything, like it'll just be viewed as average. But if you have that one thing that really sticks out, like it can take you further and whatnot. And then just being consistent in what you do. So like all of your workouts and stuff, just continue to be consistent and then just keep at it. Like you may not have success initially, but eventually you will. So
Yeah, no,
that's my
I
advice.
Yeah, no, I think that's sound advice, that words that you've given to a lot of kids out there, because I think that's important for them to hear that type of feedback and apply it to, what they're doing at here at the present time. Hey, Tyler, I want to give you the final word and message here, for family, friends, teammates, and coaches here now at Northwood Temple Academy, and also the community of Fayetteville, North Carolina here.
Thank you for pushing me and just having a good environment around me. Thank you.
Well said. Hey, Tyler, a true honor and privilege being able to speak with you. Again, congratulations on your success playing basketball. I know there's more to come here in your senior year at Northwood Temple Academy in Fayetteville, North Carolina, and looking forward to seeing what you do on the hardwood court.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I had a pleasure today.
Thank you.